Hi there, everyone. So welcome to our webinar today, introducing our new performance analytics product. By way of a quick introduction, I'm Adam Babaji Pycroft, aka Adam BP. I'm the VP of Product at OneUp. And Joel.
Hey everyone, I am Joel. I'm a customer success manager here at OneUp. Just before, really excited to have everyone here today, and especially excited to show you through the new performance analytics tool on OneUp. But before we do, we want to give you a little bit of background and context as to why we felt that building this product was necessary. So, from working with recruitment companies for a number of years now, we understand that recruitment teams are pretty relentlessly measured, yet many fail to utilize the full value or harness the value of that data that they have to increase revenue and overall performance. It's quite interesting though with recruitment because it is one of the most measurable, yet pretty brutally transparent professions out there. And it's also important to keep in mind for us that those metrics that we see, they aren't just numbers. They're not just data on a screen. They have real world consequences, and that data can decide the fate that companies have to increase performance and increase revenue. Slight technical glitch.
Yeah, it was. Sorry about
that. No worries. We just
cool.
have the next slide, please.
Yeah, of course.
There we go. Perfect. So what we do find, again, from speaking with lots of recruitment companies,
So I think Joel's having a few internet issues, so I'll pick this up. So something that we've observed and we've heard from clients is quite often those valuable insights into different data are trapped in different systems. And so we have things like, there's a bunch of tools available to sales and recruitment teams, and quite often they'll all have their own reporting, and then everything is in different systems. So ultimately, not being able to make full use of that data means that revenue is lost, opportunities are wasted, and client relationships are broken. And that's all really down to that reactive data strategy, not being able to use data until it's far too late to act on it. So our solution at OneUp, we're here to break the data silos between these different systems, and give teams the clarity they need so that they can understand and drive better performance. Ultimately, we won't just point out where the problems are, though. All of you, I know, are familiar with the OneUp platform. So we've got the gamification side of things. We've got the competitions, the missions, the leagues, etc. And really, we want to give tools, and we want to give teams quantifiable, proven solutions. So that will be the gamified competitions, goal setting, recommendations, everything they need to drive performance. So imagine that every member, every recruitment team can harness the power of their data without being a data expert. We're going to cut the time it takes to get those useful insights, and ultimately, pull together that full picture of what's happening. We also know that there is a challenge for new managers as well. So often new managers might be world-class recruiters or salespeople, and they often get up to that level because they're great at selling. We want to make sure that they're in a position where they can, they can thrive and, get up to speed and become useful earlier and quicker. So I guess it's simple, and our goal here is to cut the time it takes for every member at every target-driven team, specifically recruitment in this case, to discover insights and drive performance. So I'm going to hand over to you, the audience, for a bit of interaction at this point. So, of these, which is the biggest pain? Which is the worst thing about dealing with data in recruitment right now? In order to vote, simply scan the QR code that's on screen right now of your phone, or go to slido.com, put in that ID, and you should be able to vote in the poll. I'm just going to give you a moment to do that. and then we will move on afterwards.
And whilst everyone is voting, Adam, I'm going to check.
Yes,
Can
no,
you hear
that's
me
much
okay
better,
now?
Joel.
Okay, apologies. Don't know what happened there with the internet. Absolutely typical. Just as soon as we started, it started to go on.
It seems so. We've got a few votes so far. We know there's a lot more of you out there, so don't be shy. Feel free to jump on there and put a vote in. So, kind of bit of live commentary, I guess. So it seems that seems a lot of love for Excel and Google Sheets out there right now. So it's interesting. No one's struggling with new manager performance, which is fantastic to hear. I'm always keen to get feedback on like whether we're going in the right direction. But yeah, it seems spreadsheets are definitely up there. We also have maybe deciding like what action. Oh, have we got combining data out of multiple systems? Oh, that's into second place. Fantastic. Right. Okay. Well, we've had 35 of you vote in this. It feels like there's. I'm going to move on now. But yeah, that's really good insight. So it's good to see maybe where some of those challenges are for you. So, without further ado, I'm now going to stop sharing my screen momentarily, whilst I change us over onto the platform, because we are now going to do a live demo, which is going to, as all live demos go, this is going to be fantastic, and it's all totally going to work with no issues whatsoever. Okay, so let's click onto the right screen. That would certainly help. Cool. Okay, so if all has gone well, you should now be able to see we are on our recruitment demo environment. It's our recently launched dashboard. And I'm going to go straight into our report manager. So here you can see we've got all of the reports in this organization. These were all saved matrix views until yesterday. And using, due to some clever work by our engineers, we managed to migrate all of those over. So let's go in and create a brand new report from scratch. So really excited about this moment, getting to share some of the culmination work. So what you see here, just follow my mouse. On the left-hand side, we've got this kind of your main filter area, so you're able to decide what you want to see in the report. See, this is starting as a blank canvas as well. I know sometimes that can be daunting, so actually later on we are going to be releasing some pre-built reports as well, so you'll be able to take kind of best practices and customize them, but we're going to start with a blank canvas today. So we're going to start by reporting on maybe individual users. And let's pick a few metrics. Maybe we'll go for first interviews. Maybe actually CV sent as well would be a good one to have in there. Placements. We'll go for maybe perm placements. And let's put a revenue metric in there as well. So I'm actually going to reorder those because logically CV sent would come before first interviews. So here we have, we've got our new reports, and we're showing data for the last month. If we want, maybe let's change that to last 90 days. And I'm going to now show you the first of the brand new features that we have in here. So this is grouped by. So you see, we're looking at performance over the 90 days. We're actually going to group it by month instead. So we see that broken down by month. Joel, do you want to come in on this one?
Yeah, I think request that's been asked for over the last sort of year and a half is to be able to do these comparisons far easier than you ever were able to do before. As in the Matrix, it was something that was very, very clicky and meant that clients weren't able to do it. And I think one of the points in Slido there that I think a lot of people said that they have difficulty with is actually getting actionable insights and areas to work on. And I think there's a few really interesting use cases that you can use this grouping by just doing it with one click. And from some of the clicks that have already they're using the most. So I think, as you've done here, to be able to see month-on-month performance and highlight areas where people are improving, if you're using it for individual users, company as a whole, and across those different metrics as well. I think one area that I think that where this will particularly be used as well is when you can group it week on week as well. As you can see there under the group by columns, you've also able to do it week on first week, and what can we do to essentially drive performance in those weeks that may be slightly slower. Can we do a league or a mission during those times to make sure that we account for the downtime, and again just drive that activity when it's usually a little quieter.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is just drop that back. So we're just viewing performance over the last 90 days. So you can see in here we've got performance against targets. Now we can also show expected performance as well. So this works in a very similar way to the dashboard. We've got these expected performance indicators. And of course, there are things that we know that are kind of good about our current reporting that we know our clients love. So for example, the data insights are still available, still visible there. So it may be the case, of course, that you don't want to always show you don't always want to show the targets on here. In fact, we're just going to quickly edit this. And instead, let's just show the total. So we can see we've just got the total here for first interviews now. We can also look at performance in maybe more detailed ways. So we've got first interviews. Let's have a look at first interviews again. So I've just duplicated that. But we're going to look at the average first interviews, maybe the monthly average over this period. So we can see that's just very simple. I think thinking back to the poll, a lot of people said that kind of constant dealing with spreadsheets, dealing with Excel is a pain. We're trying to bring more of that into OneUp, so you don't need to spend as much time wrangling the data off platform. Instead, you're able to do more of it here. Joel, do you want to come in on this?
Yeah, a couple of things actually. I'm going to go back to what you said there about taking the target out and just seeing the totals. There's actually something quite recently a lot of clients have mentioned about the matrix. Having to see targets and targeted performance was making sometimes the data quite difficult to consume when you're trying to look from a high level overview. There's quite a lot of information by having everything in there. I actually love that now you can take the targets out of there, and it just makes it much simpler to do if you're looking at a larger time frame, or if potentially from a director level, if you don't really need to see those targets. It just makes it really nice and easy to consume the data. So that's the one thing I really love. I know it's kind of a small ad, but I think that's going to really help a lot of people when creating reports and just finding these far more useful. The averages is definitely something that we've been asked for quite a lot with the matrix, and it's something that you've not been able to do. I think utilizing these averages to see what is good performance executive search, it may not always be the case. Higher averages may mean that for something like CV sent or interviews may mean that we're not screening clients correctly, and we want actually those averages to be slightly lower. So I think there's quite a few different ways that you can harness these averages to really predict later performance as well, to see, right, this is my average number of placements or revenue across the first quarter. If I keep going at this rate, am I going to hit my yearly target? So it's a way that, again, you can use the data that you have at your fingertips now to be more proactive going forward as well. So I think there's quite a few different ways that the averages can be used. I think also they potentially might be used more so to inform targets as well, so that we can say, again, what's high performance and do we want to target based on that, because that is strong performance and we're going to use that more going forward. We want everyone to be numbers. So yeah, I think there's a few real key ways that the averages are going to be used.
Thanks, Joel. So something else that we actually tested an earlier version of this design with some clients, and something we discovered was people still expected to be able to edit things on the column heading. Well, we haven't taken that away. That's definitely something you can do in the matrix, and you can also do in our new reporting. So I mentioned, we both mentioned averages. We also do minimum maximum as well, which is kind of cool if you want to see over the course of that period, what's the minimum or maximum performance. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to take out the max for now. So you can see this is grouped by user, but actually, likewise, you may want to group it by team. So you can see you can filter the teams down as well. Maybe let's look at the perm team, given that we're looking at perm performance, and you can expand that to see the users under the team. And again, you've got their performance against target, and everything is visible there. So after you've built these reports out, you may wish to share them with someone else. So we've got a few different ways to do that. We'll call this shiny new report on the webinar. Catchy name. And I'm going to click save. So we've saved the report. Now there are a couple of things we can actually do here. I'm going to switch this back onto user for a moment. So okay, you can see here we've got the metrics along the top, and you've got the individual members of the team along the bottom. Let's filter it just to look at Alana for a moment. And it may be the case, say you're in a one-to-one with Alana, you might actually want to switch that over. So instead, you've got Alana as a column here, and then you've got the rows for the metrics instead.
I love this, Adam. Sorry, before you terms of top and being able to then compare performance, because again, for this you may want to group that data by month on month, and then you can very easily spot improvements in performance as the months go on. And obviously for one-to-ones and performance reviews, looking to at last quarter, for example, if you're doing them quarterly or across the year, it's going to be far easier to spot trends doing it this way, and having all of the data, all of the metrics down the left-hand side, and seeing the columns then split across. I think it's going to make things far easier. And also then for new starters, when they're ramping up in their first 3 months, obviously you're going to hope to see some improvement over those first 3 months, and that's going to be much easier with this function. So again, I know the switch axis thing is quite small add-on that we've done, but I think in terms of being able to consume that data again far easier and get really a snapshot very quickly, I think that's going to be a really cool new thing that people can try out.
Thank you, Joel. So I'm going to switch the axis back over now, and maybe we'll put everyone back on the report as well. And I'm going to save this. Let's imagine I'd like to share it with my team, or maybe my organization. So again, we have a few sharing options in here. We have share report. Again, we're defaulting to restricting. So when you create a report, it's only visible to you. That stops the whole company getting cluttered up with drafts. But you can actually share it with everyone else in the company, or you can share it with specific people. Now, sometimes people will want to kind of export and download the report instead of sharing it using the platform. Maybe someone doesn't have one at Access yet. So we've got the ability to export to CSV, Excel, and PDF, which is something we've been asked for a few times, and we were able to add as part of this. And again, if you want, you can transfer the ownership of the report to someone else as well. And this is, for example, if you create a report for someone else, but actually day to day you want them to manage it, you can give them that ownership as well. So that's a whistle-stop tour of our new performance analytics features. I'm just going to quickly do the screen sharing dance again for a moment whilst I get back into the presentation. And then we can, we've got another poll coming up, I think, in a moment, and some Q&As. But first, we're going to talk to you about the next step. So we've mentioned we're launching a new product. Well, actually, how do we get this into your hands? How's that going to work? So without further ado, next slide. There we go. Joel.
Yes, awesome. And I really hope my internet is still holding out and I'm still clear for you. Is it still going okay?
Yeah, seems broadly good so far. Let's keep going.
Okay, fantastic stuff. So yes, to let you know the next step. So everything you see today, please don't worry. We'll contact you when to let you know when you'll get the updated version of OneUp. So we will be releasing this gradually to all of our clients over the next few weeks. So by sort of next 4 weeks, we're releasing this quite gradually, starting off today. So if you don't have access to this straight away, immediately after this call, don't worry, you will have access to it, and we will let you know when that does happen. All of your saved matrix reviews will be converted over to the new reporting suite. So you won't have to create those from scratch. So please don't worry though, all the hard work you've done creating those reports within the matrix, they will be available automatically. They'll be transferred over for you. And alongside that, your automated report emails will also be updated to send out the new reports from the new reporting suite instead of the matrix. So again, you won't have to go in and recreate those workflows you've done. Those will all be done for you. So yeah, please don't worry. All of this will be done for you automatically and you won't have to create anything else from scratch.
Okay, and we're going to continuously improve this as well. So when you first get performance analytics, we will continuously be adding to it. We've got a bunch of plans, specifically things like charts and data visualization. We'll be following up with, as well as lots of like small quality of life improvements, the kind of things that we only learn when we have people using it. Of course, though, so actually I'm going to pick up. We did have a question down in the chat, and we had a couple. I'm going to focus on one. So someone has asked, can you compare clients down the left-hand side or only users? Well, actually, we're going to be launching a new product in about a month called Performance Insights. Now, it's going to be an additional product that we launch alongside this, but it will be very much connected to performance analytics. And it will bring in the ability to report on clients, jobs, placements, and candidates, as well as a heap more stuff that we're really excited to talk about. We will talk about it more slightly closer to time. We don't want to spend loads of time on it today. But this change is very much the foundation for this. And a lot of other exciting new features we'll be bringing to OneUp in future. We also had another question from chat was, can you compare individual performance across 2 time periods so you can see someone's stats quarter on quarter? The answer is yes. So you can either do that split by, but you can also override the period on specific metrics. What we've tried to do is carry over the features from the matrix that people knew and loved. We wouldn't have been able to automatically migrate your reports over either. But ultimately, we've learned a bit from recent releases. We wanted to make this so you don't really have to do anything. Your saved matrix views will be converted over. You should just be able to start using it as you were using it before, but also benefit from those new features. So we're now going to have another poll. So hopefully you've all got Slido still. You know how it works now. I think we had about 36 of you vote last time. Can we beat that this time? So of the new features we're launching, which are you most excited about? Have a vote in this poll, and then we will go to a Q&A as well in a moment. So we've got our first vote. Compare period seems to be up there. Oh, 2. I'm not going to keep doing this for every single vote because that'll be incredibly annoying. So I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and let you vote.
Oh, min-max averages has gone up. That's a good one. Compare periods, I'm on that one. That's what I'm most excited about. PDF exports has at least got a couple of votes there as well. Switch axis. I've got a few people on side with the switch axis there, Adam. Some people are excited about that. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's nice to have that flexibility, definitely. We also had, can you prefer, so another question we had, I think, down in the chat whilst waiting for this is, can you compare individual performance against company performance? I guess you can. So you can't go individual and company, but what you can do is look at, for example, the individual with all of the individuals visible, and you have the totals at the bottom. So you can look at the total performance. You could also compare against max as well. So you can see how does someone compare to that best performer within the company. Mm-hmm. So a couple of other questions from the chat. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes here. Can you compare individual? Yeah, so we've covered time period, comparing time periods over quarter on quarter, and we have covered individual and company performance now as well. So some of you who've logged on Slido will probably have noticed as well there is a Q&A slide coming up as well. So you're going to be able to ask some questions in a moment. So yeah, let's take a look at this. So period comparison is definitely up there. I think that probably chimes with the joy of Excel that people flagged up in the first poll. So great to see that's landed well. Min max average is 26%. It's annoying. We've got 34 votes in this poll, so we haven't beaten the last one. Quan, you're a competitive bunch out there. Can we get a couple more votes on here, please? So we've got easier to use design there. That's great. I think the team will be thrilled to see that.
Yeah.
Switch access, PDF exports, and report sharing. So report sharing is definitely lower down, but that's cool. Really happy to see that response. And 34, 35. There we go. At least we have parity with last time. Guess it's not the end of the world. Can you compare users and teams against each other? Yes. So you could view teams on there. You can expand them as accordions, see the users, and you could look at the user number and the team number. What is the predicted cost of this add-on? It's going to be £15 per billable user per month. So again, the customer success team will reach out for specific discussions around that with you. Again, we can go into that. We also I'm gonna save that for now, just because it's more of kind of some individual conversations need to take place, because in some cases as well, we'll be doing some trials of it, allowing people to have some early access and give it a go. Okay, so can you compare? Sorry, answered that one. What are your plans for team individual targets? Will you be expanding flexibility around these? So at the moment, so we've got the team, company, individual targets that put in. In terms of targets, as part of Performance Insights, which is our new product, we are also looking at whether we can introduce client targets as something, and we don't no date on that one yet, but it is something we're looking at. Let's see, what else do we have? Can you compare company data against other companies? Well, if you are in if you have our parent orgs features, so you have multiple companies in your group, yes, that is something that we will offer. Okay, is the report exported to Excel going to look different to what it looks now? Yes, it's slightly better. Obviously there are design limits within Excel, but it's definitely a bit pain for me to actually show you right now. But effectively, when you've got access, go in, have a look for yourself. One of the changes we're making as well is to honor the coloring that you can configure in your settings. So if you say, you're also talking about boundaries in red, yellow, and green, that will be honored in the exports as well. And okay, any timeline on bulk applying target templates? None that I can comment on at this moment. And I think that's broadly that's I think a lot of the questions from the chat. So what I'm going to do now is jump on to the next slide. So this, again, we've got a Q&A here, and possible to set up automated charts for this new analytics. So this is very much the foundation. We will be adding charts in future, and you will, when we have them in there, be able to have them automated and sent out using workflows in the same way the Matrix does it, same way the new reporting will do it. You will also be able to send charts out to people. Initially, there'll be attachments, but some of the feedback we've heard from clients is you'd like to see those in the emails. We're going to look at that. It might be something that we can deliver. And ultimately, and I know that there's a lot of value in having those emails be a bit more engaging and not rely on people opening the attachments. We've heard loud and clear that people don't often open them. So beyond the initial emails, we want to make those more engaging, and that's something we will be looking at in the coming months. Any more questions out there? Feel free, don't be shy. It is anonymous at the moment, unless you don't want it to be. So happy to answer any of those. I might defer to Joel on some of them.
And I'll just keep my fingers crossed that the internet holds out.
Yeah. Okay, so speak now or forever hold your peace. We've got the Slido slide, so I'm going to. Okay, well, I think given that the questions seem to have died down now, and we are half an hour into the webinar, it's probably best to give you all the time back. We will be in touch, so specifically customer success, plus we will send out some emails letting you know when you will get it. Who is getting it today? If you are getting it today, you were one of the people who explicitly agreed to be on the first trial, so would have participated in the usability testing we did. So we will let you know when you're getting it. If you're getting it today, you should already know. With the automated reports, are they going to be sent out in the body of the email? So to start with, no, they're going to work probably similar to how our emails work right now. But we are looking at that. We are working on it because it's something that came up in the feature. Yeah, there are some questions in the chat. I've got someone feeding those through to me, so I think I've answered most of them at this point. But obviously, if I haven't, keep me honest, guys. Yeah, I've got a window open where people are kind of letting me know if there are any others. Will there be demos available as the launch rolls out outside of this live stream? Yes, so we're going to record a lot of Loom videos. There's going to be a lot of things on our help center. And we want to make sure that everyone gets value from this. So what I would say to all of you out there who are watching this, as you begin adopting this, please don't be shy with the feedback, negative and positive. Like anything that we can use constructively is really useful to helping inform the future directions. Any more info on the Performance Insights product? Not in this webinar, but actually we are going to do another separate webinar where we talk about that. The reason we're not doing that today is it's about kind of, I'd say, 35-40% built at this point, and I'd much rather have something I can demo, because otherwise it's really abstract. It's kind of, we're talking about things that we might do, and it's much easier. So this feature we have shown today, so performance analytics with demos today, is no additional cost. You will get this. It replaces the matrix. All of your matrix views and saved reports will just be kind of transferred over. So no, we are heavily investing in improving the product for existing clients without additional cost. So really, we want to continue to invest. We listen to your feedback. We regularly get customer feedback via support, via customer success, via the feedback form at the top. And we often act on that. So we will continue to improve, we'll continue to iterate, we'll continue to improve the platform that you're already getting. But when we launch things that add loads of additional value, as in the case of Performance Insights, that's why it's potentially additional products. So what you're getting today is at no additional cost. This will roll out, and we will continue to improve it as well. Is very much a bit like you may have seen with the dashboards. We launched new dashboards that we've already shipped some improvements. We have more improvements planned as well. We've heard loud and clear that some people would like some kind of more management controls on that. So that's something else we're working on. No date just yet, but we're on it. So I think that probably wraps up about everything, unless anyone else has any more questions. If you do have any questions of this, reach out to customer success. Or I can see no more questions in the chat. Just had confirmation from the chat elves there. So thank you all so much for your time. I hope you're as excited as I am about this launch, and we will be in touch to let you know when you're getting it. But it will definitely be over the next month. Right. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you, John.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye-bye.